Member from Toronto Danforth.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question to the acting Premier. Last year, the Premier admitted that her hydro policies were a mistake, but she refused to do anything to correct those mistakes. In fact, she's now doubling down on her biggest mistake. She's ignoring the people of Ontario and selling off a final piece of Hydro One, Ontario's oldest and most important public asset. Why does the Premier care more about serving the interests of her friends on Bay Street and not the interests of the people of Ontario?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Deputy Premier.
The Minister of Energy.
Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's go back to November when the Premier did stand up and apologize for decades of mistakes made by all governments, Mr. Speaker, that kicked the electricity file to the curb. We had to act, Mr. Speaker. We had to rebuild a system. It cost us $50 billion to do that. But you know what we have now, Mr. Speaker? A system that is clean, a system that is reliable, and a system that doesn't rely on coal, Mr. Speaker.
Finish, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we rebuilt that system, and we recognize that it came with a cost, Mr. Speaker. So what we did is we brought forward the Fair Hydro Plan, which actually reduces everyone's rates in this province by up to 25% on average, Mr. Speaker. That is something that is a benefit for everyone.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, after this final sale, the people of Ontario will no longer have majority ownership of Hydro One. The Premier has sold off the ability of the people of this province to control their hydro system. From now on, Hydro One will focus on private profit, not on the public interest. Speaker, through you to the Deputy Premier, how does it feel to be part of a government that has finally killed off Sir Adam Beck's legacy of public power in Ontario?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Adam Beck's legacy is alive and well with OPG, Mr. Speaker, and you know what? We're continuing to make sure that the Beck generating station produces significant power for this province. But again, Mr. Speaker, it shows that this party has no idea.
We're getting there. Finish, please.
They have no idea how the system works, Mr. Speaker. And you know what? For making sure that the investments that we're getting from the broadening of ownership of Hydro One will be going into infrastructure investments right across the province now, Mr. Speaker. And you know what also is happening now? A 17% reduction on electricity bills right across the province. Thanks to our Ontario Fair Hydro Plan, we've got more coming, Mr. Speaker, and that will help those families, businesses and farms right across our great province.
Thank you.